Guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Faye. Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so very, very much. Yeah, scarf. This is a collab video with the fabulous Fab Nine ladies. So this video is about, we're doing a video about well, some of the ladies, it's about it's a Mother's Day video. So what some of the ladies are doing, how they remember, or how their mother does her makeup. But for me, my mother is in heaven, and for what I remember, she never wore makeup. When she was a little older and she had a boyfriend, I think she maybe wore lipstick sometimes, but after that, no. She never wore any makeup, nothing like that. No brows, no foundation, nothing like that. So I don't have anything to go by about that, but I'm just going to do a look that reminds me, or just bring back memories of my mother that I may have. You know, I'm just trying to create a look that I think that maybe she would have used or looked, something like that. So anyway, I'm going to be showing some pictures before. I don't know if you saw them already, or if I did that. Anyway, I'm going to have some pictures. I'm going to try to have them throughout this video of my mother, and maybe different family members, like my mother, my grandmother. I only have this one particular picture. I think I have another one, maybe another one, but it's the only picture that I have of my grandmother. And my grandmother, my mother, my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, and my big head, one of my big head sisters is sitting in, you know, right in front of them. So yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this makeup just in remembrance of my mother. Now, I will be talking throughout this video, so, you know, it may be a little longer. Girl, look already. 3 minutes already. Maybe a little longer, so you may want to get an energy drink or something like that. You know, because I am going to be talking about my mother, and I have my tissue right here, and yeah. It's going to be that type of video. So anyway, I'm going to be using the Soft Glam palette. Yeah, my favorite palette. Seriously, it is my favorite, my absolute favorite. Girl, it looks a mess. It just looks a purity mess, girl. I need to get another one. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to be doing a look in remembrance of my mother on Mother's Day today. So yeah, let me get my brushes and get started. Yeah. Woo. I have my robe around me because I am cold. I am cold. I am cold. I am cold. I probably will be doing a cut crease because I love them. That's probably the only reason why, because I love them. So anyway, I am cold. What? I don't know what I'm about to say. Probably something about makeup, right? Right? Ooh. I still don't remember. I still don't remember. But anyway, let's move on. Well, I'm going to move on. I know you guys have moved on already. Anyway, anyway, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my mother. And of course, you guys know that all the ladies' names and channel links will be down in the description box below. Yes, Jennifer, Nat, Shaneill, Dezi, Theresa, Laura. Who else? Oh, that's what happened today. Anyway, all of the other eight ladies' names, all of our names will be down in the description box below. It's not that I forgot anybody's name, which I tend to forget. Y'all know how I am. Y'all know. Y'all know. And Dede, I haven't forgotten anybody because the ladies are just so wonderful. I love this shade. I really do. I think that's burnt orange. It is so pretty. Ooh, I could just use this as a look, right? So serious. It's so pretty. That's a good idea. I have to put that in my planet. I bet. I put it in my planner. Yes. I don't forget anybody because they are just such wonderful ladies. I am so blessed to have met all of these ladies. But anyway, I'm going to, is this a clean brush? Yes, it's in a clean container. I'm going to talk a little about my mother. My mother's name is, she always will be my mother, and it will always be her name, right? My mother's name is Gertie Coleman. Gertie, I don't know where it comes from. I think I asked her one time. She never answered me. Excuse me. She never answered when I asked her about her name. She never answered me. Because, you know, it's just a different, it's strange. To be honest, it's a strange name. You know, my mother was born in Mississippi. Yeah. In Mississippi. Along with my father was born in Mississippi also. And I asked my mother years later after I think I was grown. And I asked my mother because after she was an adult, you know, and had one or two of my siblings, whatever the case may be. Anyway, I asked her, I said, well, you were in Mississippi. Why would you go to another southern state, right? You know, at that particular time, you know, racial tensions were high. And I figure, like, I'm going to be going somewhere. This is just me, right? Because we're all individuals. I was thinking, okay, like, I don't want to be going further north, right? Oh, no, not my mother. Well, I understand why. Because my grandmother had moved to New Orleans, to Louisiana. So, of course, us being Southern people, I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. It may be the humidity, but us Southern people, especially us Southern Louisiana people, we just, we love our kids, of course, right? But we just want our kids close by. I don't know if that's everyone, but especially us. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter what race we are, but us Southern people, especially Louisiana people, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we was born, you know, there below sea level. I don't know, you know, but we want our kids close, same state. We do. We do. Even if we move to another state, we want our kids to be there with us. Because I have my sister in Missouri, and I have my brother in Iowa. All of their kids are right in the same state with them. You know how some kids get to be adults, and go off, on their own and move to different states and maybe even different countries and stuff like that. Yeah, no, not us, not us, baby. But for the 99% of us, our kids are where we are, or we are where our kids are. I don't know what that is. We just don't want to cut the apron strings or what, but yeah, our kids are right with us. And that's the only reason, seriously, that I am still in Georgia. Not because of my kids, but because of my grandkids. Well, because of kids too, but not because of my children, but because of my grandchildren. My grandchildren are here in Georgia. And I just don't want to be that far away from them, I don't. I don't know. Maybe it's like that phenomenon, that thing that happens with turtles. What thing that happens with turtles? I'm going to tell you right now. When turtles are born, they're born, I forgot a beach, some island, right? So when they're born on that island, and the ones who make it, I guess you guys know I watch a lot of nature programs, right? The ones that make it, they're gone away from that particular place that they were born for 15 years, and they just instinctively, they have never been back there before, and that was the only time they were there. But 15 years later, they're coming back. The females, they're coming back to lay eggs. That's it. They're coming right back. Instinctively, they know where to come. So I don't know, maybe we just like turtles. I don't know. We just know where we want to be and where we have to go. So I don't know. And it doesn't seem like my mother was in this story anywhere, right? But my mother was that way. All of her kids were in New Orleans, in Louisiana, right along with her. So yeah. So anyway, my mother was, we grew up going to church every Sunday, baby. Bible study, whatever day, Tuesday, Friday, whatever, I don't remember. Bible study, Sunday school. Yeah, honey, we grew up in church. My mother didn't play that. You're going to church. You're going to church, or else. It's no or else anything. You're going to church. My mother was a disciplinarian. She didn't play. She zoomed that shoe side your head. And then you tell you go pick it up and go get it. But, I'm saying that because excuse me, my father passed when I was 9 years old. And my mother was the only parent that I had growing up. And she was, great at it, seriously. And so, yeah, we listen. And my mother taught us so many things. And you don't realize, sometimes you think of that your parents are being hard on you, or just not being fair. Of course, we think that, especially in the Black community, we think that when we're growing up, back in the day, the kids just are just being grown. Now they're not being raised; they're just growing. But back in the day when we were being raised, we thought lots of things like that, but we knew not to say it. We knew not to say nothing, baby. Nothing at all. Girl, please, I don't want to get a whipping. But my mother was, and my father too. We grew up in church, like I said. My mother was on the deacon board. my father was on the deacon board. My mother was what you call them, other whatever, in the church. Well, anyway, we all were in the church growing up, and that's pretty. Yeah, that's just the way it was. My mother was a kind woman. She was a woman. Everybody, just because you are female or male, that does, and you have a certain age, that doesn't mean you are grown or you're an adult. Like I tell my grandbaby, I said my auntie is. I said my auntie is 18. She grown. I said no, she an adult. Don't mean she grown, but of course they don't understand what I'm talking about. But my mother was a grown woman, honey, and she took care of us. She did. She took care of us. Well, when I was growing up, I was, it was mainly my older siblings were out the house. Excuse me. It was just mainly me and my sister Rose and my brother Sonny that were really in the house. The rest of them folks were grown and married and stuff like that, So yeah. Emails popping up. I'm trying to curb this time down, right? It don't look like it though, right? Yeah, they were grown and they were out the house, but my mother, it was just, my father had, passed in the late 60s, and my mother had to work and take care of me, mainly me and my sister Rose. But as I got older, my sister, she got out the house too, and she told me one time, I got married to get out the house. I said, well, honey, I was just saying to myself, I feel you, because my mother, she was a mother. That is so pretty. But anyway, my mother, excuse me, why am I doing that? As I got older, my mother became, at the church, my mother became a missionary for the church, and then she became a minister in the church, and yeah, so my mother was a minister, and she was so prayerful. My sister is a lot like her. My sister in Missouri, she's a lot like her. Faithful wise, we're all faithful people in my family. And let my sister tell it in Missouri. She's the only one. Yeah, okay, she thinks she is. Girl, please. She thinks she is, but she's not. But we just let her think that, okay? Because we don't want to argue with her because she just talks so much. But anyway, my mother was a ordained minister, and did she get married, my niece? No, I don't think she did. But anyway, she was ordained minister, like I said, and we by that time I was the only one in the house. My sister and my brother had left the house, and I was the only one there with my mother, which was fine. But I knew how my mother was, and I knew that there were certain things I was going to be able to do, and certain things I wouldn't be able to do. Seriously. And most of them were things that I wouldn't be able to do. Because my mother was strict, and she didn't want me to, go wayward, end up pregnant, and all kind of stuff like that. She just didn't let me do a lot of stuff. I resented her a little bit for that because there were many things and many places I wanted to go, but I wasn't allowed to. But I get it now that I'm an adult. I don't have daughters, but I do have sons. People say there's a difference. It's not. It's not a difference. Simply because even if you have sons, your sons more than likely are dating someone's daughters. So yeah, it's not a difference. You know, it's just how you raise your kids. Raise them, not grow them. So anyway, uh, my mother was just wonderful. She took care of me. She fed me. She clothed me. You know, by the time I was in high school and in high school, I started working. Um, in high school for the Coast Guard, and yeah, she liked that. I liked it too. You know, but I just worked. You know, of course, during you know part time during school hours, and that was it. But my mother was just very kind, very sweet, soft spoken. I'm a lot like her in that way because my mother was soft spoken. I think I may have heard her raise her voice to me. Yeah, she probably did it to my brother many times, but to me, she only raised her voice to me like one time. Because when I say raise her voice, I mean holler or yell. She raised her voice in a firm manner. Oh yeah, she did. But just to holler, no, she didn't do that. And I'm a lot like that. You have to get a lot out of me or do something really terrible to get me to just get angry or mad or something like that. Because yeah, I don't see any sense in it. But I'm just saying. Anyway, she had that type of um what you call it, personality. Oh, she was hard. She was hard. And why is that looking like that? I don't know. She was hard. She was firm. And was growing up. When she grew up, okay, yeah, she did some things. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie and sit up here and say she was an angel. No, she wasn't. You know who is? Who wants to be an angel? Nobody, right? That if you do, you just don't know what an angel is. Anyway, yeah, she did things when she was younger. We all do. I know I have. We're not gonna talk about that right now. We're not gonna talk about that right now. But anyway, my mother was um, my mother was just wonderful. Uh, I remember growing up, trying to let that set. Just growing up, and my father was alive at that particular time. I think that's just a Mississippi woman. I was a little girl. Like I said, my father died when I was 8 or 9. I just remember my mother, they had an argument or something. I don't know what it's about. All the thing I remember is because my sister get that part from her. My sister Rose, she get that part from her. All I remember is my mother having a knife, bringing my father in the room, and them arguing. She said, "Come on here, Jay. Get in that room. Get in that room." Girl, I just smiled and laughed because, it wasn't a regular thing because my father was, I get a lot of that from my father. He was just so even-tempered and quiet like I am. I'm a lot more outgoing now since I've been on YouTube, but before YouTube, I was exactly that way. But anyway, yeah, my mother was a spitfire when she was younger. And as she got older, of course, she calmed down like most people do. We get older, we learn, we absorb, and we... Yeah, I thought Rudy had, or Philip had, somebody, whatever. Anyway, we do things in, seriously? We do things in life when we're younger that, you know, we wonder about when we are older. But everything, all these things that I'm telling you guys, I'm not ashamed, I'm not embarrassed about any of them, because that's my life. Everyone's life experience is different. Yes, it is. For the most part, I'm just saying. So yeah, these memories I have of my mother are just so great, especially as she was getting older. Yeah, she just was such a calm, beautiful spirit, loving, caring mother and grandmother, great grandmother. You know, my mother has been resting in heaven for 19 years. I know the year because one of my nieces died in 2000. She will be resting in heaven for 20 years. My mother will be resting in heaven for 19 years this year. And my husband will be resting in heaven for 18 years this year. They died like a year apart, on all of them. So yeah, that's how I remember all of that. But so my mother was just wonderful. You know, as you know, your mother get older. When my mother got older, you know, you can't do as many things as you did before. So, but of course, she still was going to church and, you know, doing stuff like that, going to the doctors. In fact, when I would take my mother when, you know, where she needed to go most of the time. My other siblings also, you know, but I would take her where she'd go most of the time, you know, wherever she needed to go. In fact, I was with my mother when she had her stroke. I was driving. I just had picked her up from the doctor's office. And yeah, by me working in healthcare, I knew the signs of a stroke. So I'm sorry, I was looking at the palette. So I was with her when she had her stroke, and I just picked her up from the doctor's office. And I looked over at her, and she was just had her head down, which, you know, and she was just gurgling, and I knew it was a stroke, and I just did a U-turn and took her right back to the hospital. Well, to the hospital. She had went to an office, so I took her to the hospital because I knew what was going on. So I took her to the hospital, and maybe a few hours later she passed. Yeah. That looked like a shimmer, huh? She passed at that hospital. And I said, I'm not going back to the hospital again because my niece had died at the same hospital. But my husband, no, he didn't die at that one. I was just saying, yeah. I said, I'm not taking anybody back to this particular hospital because everybody I love seemed to die right at this hospital, and I didn't take anybody back there. So my mother was just wonderful. Like I said, she was a minister. She would go around to different places, you know, hospitals and stuff like that, homes, different people's homes, and pray for them, lay hands on them, you know, and pray for them. Yeah, she was that type of missionary. And I miss her terribly every day. You know, sometimes when your parent first passed, they'll say, well, it's gonna get better, but you don't believe that. You don't believe that when it is happening because, well, for me, my mother was everything. So you don't believe what they're saying when they tell you that. But with time, seriously, time heals. Time heals all wounds mainly. But because I don't say things like, oh, let me go over to mama's house. So I'm going to call mama right now. As much as I used to. I still say it on occasion. I'll think it, not say it. I'll think it. I want to call my mom or go over to my mom or something like that. But I don't think it anymore like that. Because time does pass. And the pain does get better. It does. I will never get over the fact that my mother is not here. Is not here on earth with me. I know it's been almost 20 years. The pain eases and we have to accept and move on. But like anything else, I know I have accepted it. You know, I have no other choice. But I will never get over the fact that she's not here with, well, us. I guess I have to include them too. She's not here with me. And, we all have to take that journey. And we do. And, I just can imagine, how our kids are going to feel after we have gone, because I feel this, So, I don't know what else I'm about to say. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to pull myself together. I'm going to finish this eye look, and then I'm going to finish this eye look and the rest of my face, and I'll be back with the finished look and dry eyes. So guys, I finished the look. My eyes are dry. This is the finished look, inspired by my mother, whom I miss dearly, whom I always will miss dearly. She was just a wonderful person and a great mother to have. And I so thank God for sending her, for sending me into her life, and for giving me her as my mother. So thank you all so much for going down memory lane with me with this. I know this video is a little bit longer than usual, but I hope you all understand and agree that some videos are worth the length that they are recorded on. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for going down memory lane with me, and just wishing everyone I wish she was here so I could wish her a happy Mother's Day, because when my mother was alive, I did not look like this. When my mother was alive, I wore mascara, eyeliner, lip gloss, and that's pretty much it. I didn't do my brows or anything. No, yeah, please. That was it. But she'd probably say, "Oh, you look so pretty," and that's about it, So, anyway, I just want to wish. What's this? The lip gloss or the hair? I just want to wish everyone a very happy Mother's Day. I hope all of you are enjoying your mother while they are here with you on earth, because it is such a blessing. It really is. I'm not going to get into a long thing because I'll just start crying again. A mother is such a blessing, and we all should, we don't, all of us don't, but we all should appreciate our mother and love her to the fullest. So I'm wishing all of you a wonderful, happy Mother's Day. I hope you all are enjoying your day. Thank you all for sticking around for this wonderful, inspired collab with the other ladies. Don't forget to check them out, see what they come up with on their video. And I hope all of you are having a wonderfully blessed day, living your best life, safe and at home. Yeah, for the most part. And I love all of you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.